a reformer, she attended the World's Anti-Slavery Convention, which included women delegates as well as men delegates, but once they got there, only the men delegates were allowed to actually sit in the convention, and the women delegates, including Stanton and Lucretia Mott, were made to sit behind a curtain silently. And so Lucretia Mott and her saw that there was a lack of women's rights even in a reformer movement. So when they got back to the States, they decided to pursue a women's rights convention, and Stanton proceeded to write the Declaration of Sentiments. And this declaration stated that women were in denial of franchise and of their rights to their wages, their persons, and their children, and also focused on women's limited education and economic opportunities, and inspected the double standards of morality. And Stanton was also an avid protester during the Civil War of slave abolishment, but although she really wanted slave abolishment, she also went back to women's rights. And in 1868, Stanton and Susan B. Anthony worked on The Revolution, which was a weekly newspaper, and this represented women going into the public sphere. And in 1890, both Stanton and Anthony went to the National Women's Suffrage Association, and Stanton led that for over 10 years, and that transitioned into the National American Women's Suffrage Association, which Stanton headed for 2 years. And then later in her life, she also advocated that religion was creating a bigger struggle for women, and that wasn't perceived well from religious people or people already part of the women's suffrage movement. That's it.